Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Elation Professional. We are coming live this morning from our European headquarters here in the Netherlands. So today we're going to take you through the key features of one of our favorite and one of our most popular products, the Artiste Monet LED profile. So thank you for joining us. My name is Alistair. I work in technical sales.
Good morning. My name is Frederik, and I work here in the Netherlands as well, also for the sales department. And yeah, you might wonder why we call this event the Elation Coffee Break, because these days we need to find ourselves somewhere else. We're looking for new adventures. For us, it's certainly the coffee which keeps us alive, and keeps us running every day. And since we cannot do the regular on the road again thing, the coffee is definitely one of the most important things. So we hope you have your coffee machines filled up with a lot of beans for the coming time. And we're going to do the short presentation today, so it's just 4.5 hours.
Don't worry, guys, it'll probably be closer to 30 minutes. But we do want this to be an interactive experience, so please feel free to add questions and we will work together and respond.
Or let us know the amount of coffee you're drinking every day, or your favorite way to drink the coffee. Whatever you want to post, leave us something below and we would be happy to talk to you about it.
Okay, so let's get started. So the Monet that we're here to speak about, it's part of the Artiste series. So this is a family of LED fixtures that we've been releasing over the past 18 months. So some of you are probably very aware of some of the fixtures that we have already been releasing, and possibly even the Monet itself. But in recent weeks, we've actually added 2 new members to this family, and both of these new fixtures complement the Monet really, really well. So I think we have a short clip to show you. So this introduces the Artiste Rembrandt and the Artiste Mondrian. So both these new units give you a whopping 51,000 lumens out of the front. And together with the Monet, all 3 are forming this new 950 watt trio within the Artiste series. So on the left here, we have the Rembrandt. So this is a fully featured wash fixture. It's an absolute powerhouse fixture. Some of the key features are it has 2 differently patterned independent animation wheels. You can move these in opposite directions in the beam at the same time for some amazing effects. Also, it ships with a Fresnel lens, but it does have an optional PC lens that installs within minutes. So this gives you a little bit more versatility, and the PC lens, of course, gives you a nice, tight, sort of defined beam versus the Fresnel. And closer to Frederik, on the right side, we have the Mondrian. So this is a profile like the Monet, but at heart, it actually functions as a beam, and this is because it has a hotspot LED engine, which gives us a high center beam intensity. And it also, within the zoom range, it goes down to a very narrow 3 degrees. So this really makes it function as a beam, and it's really going to become a long throw specialist. So this new 950 watt trio that you see before you, one added benefit of this is that they share technologies, they share modules and parts. So for example, they have the same framing system, the same color mixing system, and the same base color temperature of 6,500 Kelvin.
Well, the idea behind it is having the 3 features, the same features in those 3 machines, is certainly that you can work a lot easier with them. So you as a designer, as an operator behind the console, you might benefit from it the way that you can say, okay, whatever I create with those 3 together, I don't have to find a compromise in colors. They all have the same color settings coming along with the Spectra color, which we will explain to you a little later. Then they have this endless framing rotation system, which is unique in the market, and that allows you really to work with those machines very, very easy in a combination for spot wash beam. So there are no compromises. By the end of the day, it saves you time, and it saves you also money, because you don't have to rent or work with different type of fixtures. So the setting in all of these machines makes it very, very easy. And yeah, what a very, very positive benefit is as well, that those machines, the LED, we offer a 5 years warranty for you guys. So that also gives you a little bit of yeah, relaxed times because you don't have to worry about anything. Of course, you can replace the LED if you want it, but our idea is that you should not replace it because it's a very, very high quality LED, and that's why we offer a 5 years warranty on all the LED engines within the Artiste series.
So hopefully we will be covering the Rembrandt and the Mondrian in much more detail in future presentations that hopefully we will come in the next few weeks with. But today it really is all about the Monet. So the building block of the Monet is its efficient 950 watt cool white LED engine. So from this, as you can see, we get a powerful beam, we get a nice, beautiful, even feel that you will see very shortly, and we get 45,000 lumens out of the front of the fixture. So with that in mind, let's start looking at some of the physical aspects of the unit. So minimum zoom, we go down to just under 7 degrees. Of course, as you would expect, the unit has an iris, so you can bring that in to get an even smaller aperture. And then the maximum zoom, we go up to a whopping 55 degrees.
And having this wide zoom range, it certainly allows you to work with the fixture on every kind of stage, even if it's a small, medium, or large stage. With that kind of output, plus the wide zoom range, it really fills an entire stage and gives you the flexibility wherever you work with it.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about the color options in the unit. So we wanted to bring something new and innovative to the lighting designer to enhance their creativity. And also to make that creativity easier and quicker to actually achieve. So with the Monet, this was the first time where we introduced what we call the SpectraColor system. So I think we have another little video to show you.
So what you will see in this video is the way our color mixing system works. So we have a pure white LED engine coming with 6,500 Kelvin. And what happens within the unit is simply a CMY color mixing, which you guys certainly know for sure, but we added some more flags. So what you see right now is coming the regular CMY color flags coming into the light. And then additionally, we have a blue, red, and green color flag, like a primary color, coming into the light, plus a variable CTO. So you can select your intensity from 0 to 100% on those 7 color flags.
So we're going to go through SpectraColor in a little detail for you, just so you can see the possibilities of how you can achieve things. So firstly, we're just going to basically show the 7 pairs of flags. So firstly, we start, of course, with what you're probably very familiar with, the cyan, magenta, and yellow flags. And then, of course, we will come to the what we call the pure RGB flags. So you can see a really nice dark blood saturated red, and of course a green, and a really nice rich blue. And finally, we have the CTO. So this takes the color temperature for the unit variably down from 6,500 to 2,700 Kelvin. And now we actually want to look at the pure flags in more detail and using slow fade times, because we want to make you aware that because these are variable, you can see transition colors and intermediate colors, so you can start seeing really difficult colors that would be hard to achieve with just CMY. And it also makes it obvious that we can crossfade between those RGB flags as well. I mean, some manufacturers can give you, for example, a saturated green, but this will often only come in the form of a dichroic on fixed color wheel. So to start off with, let's have a look at pure red. So as you're fading into that, you can see you're going through some coral, salmon, fire tones before arriving at the saturated red.
The big advantage in this case is also that it gives you a little bit more brightness. Because before, when you had to mix a red with your CMY color mixing system, the problem was always that you had like several flags in front of the light beam. So that reduces your brightness dramatically. If you have only coming one colored flag coming into the light, like this primary red in this case, the output is much nicer. Plus, you can really select your intensity, as you can see now with the next colors.
Okay, let's try pure green. So again, you can see we're passing through teal, some pastel green, some mint tones on the way to the real saturated green. And then finally, we'll look at pure blue. So you're passing through some lavenders, light to medium purples, before arriving at that rich sort of blue. If this was a CMY mix of blue, of course, you're going to be looking at probably more of a Congo blue. So you can get hold of a demo unit and have a look at the comparisons between the two.
And the big advantage in this case is as well that when you have a, let's say, corporate event, you want to light up a certain product or a certain scene, and usually you had it painted in a dark, saturated primary color, and you had to go back to the speaker, which is on stage. There was often a hard cut between this color and going back to white. What you can do now with this color mixing system, you can fade out like very, very smooth from this primary color back to white, so without having this hard cut, which you usually know from a color wheel. So in this case, you as a designer have really the advantage to give the show or the presentation or the entire event a little bit extra touch with your personal note coming from this color mixing system.
Okay, and now we're going to just show you some very quick crossfades between the pure RGB as well. So starting off with red, and these are just quick little crossfades just to show you that it's quite seamless.
It's a bit hard to catch it on camera. We hope you guys can see what we're doing here. And of course, if you are really seeing this in real, it's impressive because of the saturation of the colors.
Okay, and now we're just going to show you 5 examples of quite difficult colors to achieve, would normally be difficult to achieve. So the first, we'll have a look at this rather strange sodium sort of color. We know that there are opera and theater users that are really looking for colors like this. So this quite strange looking, but actually quite difficult to achieve under normal circumstances. Secondly, just have a look at this deep orange. Again, not so easy to achieve.
Yeah, now that you picture we're having a little bit of the primary red coming into the light, plus a little bit of the CTO, plus a little bit of the CMY color mixing. So there are really endless possibilities, as you can see in the next example.
So this is a strange lime yellow that we came up with, really. So mixing a few flags in here. So again, theater users really look for strange colors like this sometimes. The next one is this sort of pastel green, almost a mint tone to it. And then finally, just to have a look at a little sort of pastel blue, sort of maybe a lavender style. And that sort of rounds out spectra color. But of course, as you would expect, to complete the color mixing system within the unit, we do have a fixed color wheel. So have a little look at that. So it gives you 6 colors, but the most important color within here is the high CRI filter that we give you. So this is quite a common engineering and design decision from Elation, where we put the high CRI filter as an option in the color wheel for you to bring into the beam as and when you need it. So as some of you may know, if you have a high CRI filter fixture, it's engineered that way. It comes with the compromise of the output being 20 to 30% less than it would normally be. So this actually causes a few manufacturers to come out with 2 units. So they have that high CRI fixture, but then they'll also come out with a second unit, which is an average CRI, but actually with the full restored output. So at Elation, we don't want you to have to make this difficult choice with 2 fixtures. We just want to give you 1.
Yeah, the idea behind it is very easy because when you have a rental company or when you are a production company, you don't have to make the compromise or even the choice between 2 different versions of LED within the same fixture. So what we have is only 1 fixture coming with most of the output, like really an intense output. And if you need to have the high CRI values, you just select the filter and that's it. So you don't need to carry 2 different type of LEDs or 2 different type of fixtures in your warehouse. And that's a big advantage because then you can cross-rent more easy. You can make the life of a designer or of an operator more easy. And especially your investments are not that big because you don't have to choose between a high or low CRI version or a high output or low output version. So with the Artiste series, everything comes in one product, and that's the great benefit of having the high CRI filter on the color wheel.
Exactly. So we'll move on now with the effects package of the Monet. So firstly, gobo wheels. So we have 2 gobo wheels within the fixture. This is the first, so it is fully indexable and rotatable. These are all carefully selected patterns to give aerials, breakups, and even this textured water filter as well for you. And then the second wheel, which is a static wheel. And moving on, we have a 360-degree bidirectional animation wheel. So, of course, this can be combined with numerous other things to create some really, really amazing looks.
Especially when you want to do like the waterfall look or the fire look with our color mixing system. That makes it incredibly beautiful, because the different colors you can achieve with our color mixing system, especially for waterfall effects or for fire effects, are amazing and really, really, really unique.
Okay, the unit also has 2 frosts inside. So the first one is really a light frost, so you would use this to diffuse a gobo, for example. But then the second frost is a proper wash frost, so again, giving you a little more versatility, giving you this beautiful optimized wash field.
Yeah, so when you use the unit as a dedicated wash fixture, it's also possible. But of course, we have the Rembrandt doing the job even better. But of course, if you need to do the compromise, the Monet will give you all the possibilities to use it as a wash as well. So that makes the unit very, very flexible.
Okay. And we also have 2 prisms within the unit. So this is the 4-facet circular, and followed by the 4-facet linear. And we'll just quickly drop a gobo in so you can start seeing the quality and the creativity you can start making. And now we'll move on to one of the unique and original things that we brought in with the Monet. It is the framing system. So I think we have another little video to show you.
And what you will see in this video is very unique, because the endless rotation framing system is the reason why we won the Plaza Award last year, 2019, at the Plaza show in London. And the judges said that it's very, very unique and such a great tool to use it in all the creative ways it comes along. So what we have here is a framing module which is powered with induction. This is something you might know from your mobile phone. If you charge your mobile phone without any cable, it is an induction charging. And that is the same way we use here in the Artiste Monet. So what we're doing, the whole framing system gets its power from an induction coil, plus the signal for all the motors on board are wireless. So you don't have any cables flying around, or you don't have any problems with the maintenance. So this is a really reliable system, because there are no cables, no wires around. So it's really very, very unique. The only thing you can't do is charge your phone. So, but there might be certainly other ways to do it when you are on a job.
Okay, so let's have a little deeper look into the framing system. So each of the 4 blades can fully black out the beam, like you can see. They can move silky slow, or they can snap really, really quickly. So our engineers really spent a lot of time fine-tuning this. And as you'd expect, the blades have amazing repeatability and accuracy with every cue.
And having this system in the fixture can make your life easier. So that means the programming can be done much faster, because you don't need to reposition your head in any direction. You can just reposition the entire framing module. But of course, that only gives you the possibility. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you like to spend more hours in a dark venue programming all night instead of having some nice drinks on a bar in a hotel, you can still use the framing system as you used to do it, with turning the head around in any direction. But of course, that system allows you to save a lot of time, but only if you want to. Okay, so let's throw in a quick shape here, the cliched triangle, of course.
So as you can see, this is actually rotating at the moment. This is the slowest speed we can get out of it. So this is really to show you how smooth it is. There's no jerkiness. And of course, we could leave this now and it will just constantly rotate forever. But let's try it faster just to show you how quick it can be. And again, very smooth, no jerking. And then finally, we can quickly just show you a square. So that sort of wraps up the framing module and actually wraps up most of the physical aspects of what's inside the Monet. So maybe now we can actually talk about some of the software innovations that we've tried to incorporate with the Artiste series. And firstly, I think we have a question, so this might be a good starting point. One of the people watching has asked, how silent is the Artiste series? So we actually have 5 different fan modes built into the Monet, for example. So these are selectable and implemented within seconds from your DMX console. So the default is auto, where the unit sort of uses sensors and makes all the decisions and keeps the LED engine at full. But there are other modes as well.
Yeah, of course, if you are working in a theater venue or in a TV studio, for example, you have the possibility to always shut off all the fans. That is possible. We call it mute mode, and then you select this information on your console, on your desk, and then you just tell the unit to shut off all the fans, and then it will be absolutely silent. And this is the great advantage, for example, in a certain scene, you need full silence during a theater play, for example, and then you just program this cue into your console, and then the unit will entirely shut off. Of course, the brightness will go down a little bit, which you will not realize. You will not really see it, but the fans will shut off entirely. And once the story goes on, for example, you can easily go back to auto mode in the fans, and then the fans will start working on a regular basis and cool down the unit. But in some certain situations, you really need absolute silence, so this is possible within the Artiste series.
So we thank you very much for that question. If you're actually looking for more information and some actual data, you can actually go to our website, and within the Monet user manual, there's actually a page detailing what Frederik has just said and actually giving you some decibel data, and we will be introducing that for some of the other Artiste series. I think the Rembrandt is also published in that way at the moment. So moving on, we also have various dimming modes, curves, and we have dimmer delay times within the unit as well. So you've probably seen dimming modes before. So these really, it's almost like a dimming preset for various applications. So theater, TV, stage, architectural, etc. But we actually really tried to be a little more innovative by coming up with dimmer curves and the dimmer delay times. So for example, the dimmer paths or the dimmer curves, linear is the default. So obviously that's a linear dimming across the intensity channel. But we also have square, inverse square, and S-curve. So these offer you a fine or a coarse behavior of that path. And then you would therefore use that in combination with the dimmer delay times.
And this is actually a great advantage because different dimming curves is nothing special nowadays, but within those units, you can create your own dimming curves because we as a manufacturer never know what you're looking for exactly. And that gives you the flexibility to create your own dimming curve the way you want to have it. And that's a pretty unique thing which we have developed here, allowing you really to create an individual dimming curve the way you want it.
Great. Okay, so we're getting close to the end, guys. I can't see any more questions coming in, but in the meantime, if you need more information on the Monet, obviously go to our website, elationlighting.eu. If you actually own Monets, or if you're using them in your venue, please go to software.elationlighting.eu. Make sure your fixtures have the latest firmware. Anything more from you, Freddie?
Well, we hope you enjoyed your coffee the same way we did here, and we would like to welcome you again for the next Elation coffee break. And yeah, leave us some comments, some posts, some ideas, some questions for the next time. And maybe tell us a little bit more which coffee you prefer and or what you're doing these days during Corona, how you spend your time, and what would you like to know from us, things we would like to talk or we should talk to you about, and leave us a comment. And thank you so much for joining us for this first Elation coffee break.
Yes, thank you very much, guys, and stay safe. Bye for now.